Here on this Tuesday. Got a great session with us today. So look, let's jump into this thing, man. Welcome. Hope you guys had a great weekend, had a great Tuesday so far. If you're just as pumped as I am about getting this thing going, so let's do it. All right. For those of you all, it's your first time joining us on a Create Your New Life. This is our weekly company meeting and coaching session where we come together and we talk a little bit about business, what's going on in the organization. We talk a little bit about what's going on in the industry. We have a topic, and then there's some opportunity for one-on-one coaching if somebody needs some help with something. So it's a great time. We spend about an hour together. For those that are on board with me, I can see you. So if you have questions, I do have the chat open. I do have the participants bar open, so I can see if you have a question or if you need anything. I can see that. So let's do it, man. First of all, thank you for coming. And look, if you're checking us out on YouTube, somebody sent you this link, or you are maybe looking at one of our past broadcasts, then we want to say thank you for your attention and your time to what we got going on here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. All right, so like I always like to start it off the same way by giving people an opportunity to know how to engage with us with what we're doing on a consistent basis. You know, we're real big as far as staying engaged, staying in contact, especially from the digital space. So YouTube, our YouTube channel, our business Facebook page are great outlets and platforms to constantly stay engaged with us. I know specifically on our YouTube channel where we host a lot of videos, you're able to see what some of the events that we've had, property tours, different one-on-one coaching sessions, past Create Your New Lives. So there's just a multitude of videos that's on our YouTube channel, and I really believe that they give you a good view of who we are as an organization here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. Now, our Facebook business page is kind of like our bulletin board. It's the best place to go when you want to see some events or things that we have coming up. Like we got a couple of events that I'm going to talk about today that we have coming up. This is a great place to go when we're putting out flyers and information about things that we're doing at Brooks & Davis. So subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking the Facebook page, you'll always be notified whenever we add new content. I know on YouTube we do maybe 2 to 3 videos a week of new videos, and on our business page we're posting probably about the same, 2 to 3 posts per week of things that we have going on, open houses, trainings, all that stuff. So other than that, I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So whether you're a part of Brooks & Davis or not, I encourage all of you all to connect with me on social media because I'm constantly on it. And again, it's another great outlet and a great way to stay engaged and connected with me. All right. Now, you know, as we go spend our time today, it's been about an hour. Again, if you're not a Brooks & Davis agent or affiliate member, and something really stands out to you as far as what I discuss, you know, today we're continuing our series as it relates to the psychology of real estate. But the one thing that I hope that you're going to see from our time together is the fact that I care. As the broker of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, something that is really top priority for me is just showing a level of care and concern for the success of my agents. I've been doing this thing for a long time, 16 years, and I've constantly been looking for the solution of how I can help develop agents to where they can be more successful and be able to realize the goals that they have set forth for themselves. So if that's what you're looking for, if that's the kind of environment that you need and the kind of leadership that you need to be a part of, then I highly encourage you to click on the link and schedule an in-person or online one-on-one company introduction so you can learn more about what separates us from any other brokerage firm in our marketplace. All right, and then the final thing for our agent members that are participating, what I call, with our session today, you know that you get an hour of CE credit. All you got to do is just follow the 4 simple bullet points. The biggest thing is that I got to be able to see your face the entire time. So I do have the capabilities of doing that. And then you must stay online the entire time. You do those 2 things, then when it's time to renew your license, you're not going to have to worry about that elective credit, continuing education credit elective, because you'll be able to have it all from attending your Create Your New Life. So let's see. So that's what we got right there. All right. So the title for today is, where does purpose fit in your career as a realtor? Where does purpose fit in your career as a realtor? So, we're continuing our conversation in the series of going through the psychology of real estate. We're going to take a look at our psychological success iceberg. So we're going to continue traveling up that thing, and we're going to show the next part of where we are when it comes to our the psychological aspects of things. Okay. All right, not a problem, Rhonda. I got you. All right. So today, again, we're going to be talking about that fuel that you're going to always be using to ensure that you're executing at the top level in everything that you do. We're also going to spend a little time in our core where we're going to be looking at, always giving your best in whatever you decide to do, then see if you can make it better next time. Also, we're going to be talking about a business software tool for our Brooks & Davis real estate firm realtors to use, which helps them be their best. And then we're going to, round out today's time with just going through again, we got some upcoming trainings. Definitely got an upcoming training coming up that's going to be phenomenal. Great for realtors and affiliate members as it relates to getting trained on qualifying customers, negotiation, and follow-up skills. So that's going to be here the first week in November, but we're going to talk about that as well. All right, so the quote for today comes from, he's a fan of mine, Mr. Tony Robbins. He's a world-renowned coach, life coach, right? A New York Times bestseller multiple times over, big philanthropist. He's responsible for over, I want to say over 50 or 60 companies that he has a stake in, and a lot of what I do from a coaching space, from a development space, is derived from Mr. Anthony Robbins. So he's been doing this thing for over 4 decades. So the quote today is, it's not about the goal, it's about becoming the type of person that can accomplish the goal. So it's not about the goal, it's about becoming the type of person that can accomplish the goal. So when you're sitting there and you're looking at what you're going to do as it relates to a result or achieving something, setting a benchmark, setting something that you're going to go after, the beauty is in who you become on the journey, right? And this particular quote right here really goes in line with kind of what we're going to talk about next session. But as it relates to setting goals, hitting goals, making it happen for yourself, what you really should be intentional about is becoming the type of individual that is capable, that has the capabilities of achieving what you're trying to achieve. So again, it all goes back to that process or that element of development and growing, right? So again, the quote for today comes from Anthony Robbins. It's not about the goal, it's about becoming the type of person that can accomplish the goal. All right, again, next week we're going to dig more in that as we move to the next area of our psychological iceberg. All right, so let's jump into our moment in core. Again, our moment in core is where we take a minute or so and we reflect on what makes us who we are at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. And that is our core ideology. It's our culture. It's who we are. In every session, I like to point out an element of our core ideology. So our core ideology is made up of 3 pieces. The first piece is our core goal. Then we have our core mission. And then we have our 5 core values. So the value that we're going to highlight today is our value of always giving our best and every day making our best better. So, Michael, what do you mean? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you make your best? If it's already your best, how can it be better? Well, again, you've got to place yourself, if you're going to have any level of success, you have to be on a trajectory of growth all the time, right? If you go back into nature, whether you're looking at trees, whether you're looking at the animals, whether you're looking at the insects, there is nothing out there in nature that is stagnant. It's either always going in one or 2 directions. It's either growing or it's dying. There is no just status quo in nature. And guess what we are? We come from nature. So if you're not growing, if you're not growing in your thinking, if you're not growing in your abilities, if you're not growing in any aspect of your life, then you're going in the opposite direction. There is no stand still as it relates to that. So what that means is that best is a moving target. Best is not a stationary target. So as you continue to get better, right, as you continue to be the top of your game and be the top in your industry, unless you don't make that thing a ceiling, it's just the floor of an elevator, meaning it's constantly going up, then at some point you're going to start going down, opposite direction. The world's going to pass you by. So at Brooks & Davis, we never want to be in that situation. That's why we're always shooting to be the best, shooting to be the top, shooting to get to the mountain, but understanding that as we hit the pinnacle of the mountain, that the pinnacle continues to grow. It continues to get bigger, it continues to get higher, which forces us to continue to move up. So that's what we do here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, and that is what we are about here at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. All right, so, after we go through our moment in core, we take a moment to give some shout outs to some new people. So we did bring on a couple of new affiliates since the last time we had our session. So I want to give a shout out to Ms. Rhonda Montgomery, who's actually on the call with us. So y'all can give us some Brooks & Davis love. Welcome, Rhonda. So glad that you're a part of us. Rhonda's in the process of getting things going, going to get her class out the way. And she's going to take that test. She's going to kill that test. So she's going to take advantage of all that we bring to the table as it relates to our affiliate program, that support, that encouragement to ensure that she's able to achieve her ultimate goal, which is starting with being licensed, and then after that, having her level of success as a realtor. Also want to give a shout out to Adrian Frank, who's another person signed on as an affiliate program. She was referred to us by a great friend of mine, her cousin, and we're going to make sure that we take care of Adrian as well, because she's raring to go, ready to get that test going. She's ready to get it behind her so she can get licensed and she can come out here and live a good life with us as licensed real estate professionals. So welcome, Adrian. Welcome, Rhonda. So glad that you ladies are here with us. Okay, now let's go ahead and check out how we're doing production-wise, right? Again, we've been averaging close to $1 million worth of new production every week, and it looks like there's no difference from this week as well. I mean, you guys are killing it, knocking it out the box. So right at $9 million worth of production that we're carrying, $273,000 worth of commission in the bucket for the people that are out there getting it and getting stuff under contract. So congratulations, everybody that's putting into it, everybody that looks to receive the fruits of their labor in dollars and cents because they've helped families, they've helped people get into homes. So that's great. That's phenomenal, actually. It's more than great. So also want to congratulate our top three. Ms. Kendra Wheaton, still holding that #1 spot down. Looks like she added some more production to the board, so she just keeps pushing it out. Margaret Harrison, what up, Margaret? Margaret's in the building live. So giving her a shout out as the #2. And then LaKendra Kaufman rounding out that 3rd spot as far as the top producing agents in the firm at this moment, meaning that they have the most production in the pipeline under contract moving towards closing. All right, so congratulations, ladies. Let's keep cranking it out. All right, so let's see. I don't have a new listing to showcase today, so we're gonna press past that on to proprietary programming. So another thing that's a staple for our Create Your New Life is that I always like to highlight and showcase a specific program that we have at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, because I want you all to be taking advantage of the different programs that we put out. Again, development is very important, very key with what we do. So we got to make sure that what we push out is working. And the only way that we can do that is if you all are using it, and then you all can give us feedback on the things that we're pushing out. So keep it at the forefront of your mind. We highlight and we showcase some of the top programs that we have. So the one that we want to really showcase today is our Success in Real Estate Machine. And this one right here is really going to become pertinent as we move forward. Next month, we're going to be launching our new mentor program to the point to where now when new agents join Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, when affiliates transition from affiliate members to agent members, you are no longer just getting a coach. You will now get connected with a coach and a mentor. And it also gives some opportunity for our seasoned agents to mentor new agents and receive incentive, get incentivized, receive an incentive for doing that. So because we want to really build this community of consistent and constant development where people are getting trained. The entire environment is around training and development and making sure that everybody is getting what they need so they can be successful in this business. We want to build that kind of community here. So we're going to be launching our new mentor program. Thanks to our head of recruiting and mentorship, Lisa Vaughn. We've gotten that finalized, and we're going to be going live with that next month. So a portion of that mentor piece is utilizing this tool, the Success in Real Estate Machine, as a way to bring new agents up to speed with some of the more technical aspects of what they're going to be doing in this business. So again, we did a survey, and this one was voted, this tool was voted the #1 resource that we have. So, you know, I'm just going to kind of go through it with you all again. The gist of this particular tool is taking the Realtor Success Funnel, which is one of the concepts that I came up with, taking that Real Estate Success Funnel, which breaks down 6 key areas, 6 skill sets, like 7 areas really, 7 areas which comprise of 6 skill sets in an introduction, and taking the real estate transaction and try to break it down to its most simplistic form. So when you look at the table of contents in our Success in Real Estate Machine, which ultimately is an online software where that has a lot of content and information that you can use on your journey to doing a transaction. All right, so the 7 areas that I mentioned are the introduction, which is kind of like your start here, and then the 6 different skill sets that we feel are pertinent or critical to going through a real estate transaction. So when you log into your Success in Real Estate machine, right, you put in your login credentials. At that point, you begin to get access to all these different resources, and that's why it's critical for the mentorship program, because now there's something tangible that we can help our new agents to guide them through, not only exposing them to what all is in this resource, but when it's time for them to use the resource because they actually have a client that they're working, then it'll be easier for them to navigate so they can take advantage of all the resources that are here in it, right? So as you can see, even if we just look at introduction, you know, the first thing is a video that talks about what drives you. There's some advice that I have for new agents. It talks about getting organized, CRMs. You know, it gives you this is the original Success in Real Estate machine, and it still speaks to the funnel, the 7 areas, the blue box. So all of that you can see in that first page or that introduction of the Success in Real Estate machine. And then you just kind of work your way down, right? Here's some videos that just really kind of, they go into more detail of what the Success in Real Estate sales machine really is. So it really goes into more detail of breaking that down. So all of this is just, I mean, we're just on the first page. So you see all of these videos that are, and we're just in the first area of it. In addition to the videos, you also see you're able to see the new agent policy. So if you need a copy of that, commission plans, signed HAR forms, CDA forms, our logos. So you're also able to access, again, some of the things that you're going to be needing as you're doing transactions. So along with your mentor is going to help you go through this whole software, so when it's time for you to use it, you know how to navigate it and use. So it's kind of like your textbook for being a brand new agent, what's going to bring you up to speed. And then each one of the skill sets has their own page as well. And you can see how it shows you how many elements are in each one of the next area. So you got 10 elements in skill set 1 that comprises of videos and downloadable resources, 4 elements in skill set 2, 3 elements. And the thing about it is right here in skill set 3, it has 5 elements. What it does is it gives you for each particular type of lead. So that's another phenomenal thing too. So if you have if you're working with a buyer, right, because there is no one size fits all. If you're working with a buyer, you can click on that element. It takes you to a page, and that page has other multiple elements that you can work from, right? So again, videos, downloadable objects, downloadable resources as well. So this Success in Real Estate machine, again, is a phenomenal tool and we're going to be using it a lot more now that we've got our mentor program going, and through the mentor program, especially our new agents are going to get a lot more hands-on as it relates to this tool and this resource. So very excited about that, especially for our new agents that are already signed up. If you haven't done at least 3 transactions, buyer or sale, then we're going to encourage you to get involved with the mentorship program. All right, so let's see what's next. All right, now we got some great events coming up. One of them is we have our Career in Real Estate. Now, we originally were going to have this event on this Thursday. I mean, it's not Career in Real Estate. This is more like Meet the Broker. So this is an informative session with either myself or Larry. that we do them on Thursdays. And people are able to come and learn more about, the things that we offer, our one-on-one coaching, our affiliate program, different lead opportunities, our centralized training center. So, for you all that are interested in taking advantage of the Realtor Recruitment Rally, you have friends that are talking to you about real estate that are interested in getting into it. If you have friends that are already licensed and they're not happy at the brokerage firm that they're currently at, and if they don't feel like they're getting what they needed, if they don't feel like they're tapped into the right environment for their success, if they feel like the broker really doesn't care and they don't really have access to what they need to have access to so they can be successful, then I encourage you to invite them out to our Meet the Broker. Now, I'm having to push it back a day, so instead of it being on the 29th, it's going to be on the 30th, October 30th. The reason being is that I got awarded the top 20 realtor by the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and they're actually having their award ceremony on the same day at the same time. So we almost canceled the event, didn't want to cancel it. So we decided that we're just going to push it back one day, and we're still going to have it here at our coaching and training center, but we're going to have it, again, from 4 to 7 on the 30th. So although the flyer says the 29th, if you come on the 29th, then we're just going to apologize and ask you to come back because we're actually doing it the following day on that Friday. All right? So again, great opportunity for you to reach out to your friends or family members or colleagues that are either thinking about getting into real estate. Be great for them to come meet a broker, or they're already in real estate and they're just not achieving the results that they know that they have the abilities to achieve if they were just in the right environment, had the right level of support. You fit one of those molds, we encourage you to come to the event. For the people that are interested in attending, then we ask them to go to the link that's at the top of this flyer. Go to this link, and they can RSVP for the Meet the Broker. Okay, Meet the Broker event. All right, the next thing that we're going to be coming up, I talked a little bit about this earlier, was where we're going to be doing a training November 5th from 12 to 2:30 from a Mr. Art Allen. He's a speaker, trainer, coach. To learn more, I'm actually going to take you guys to this link. But to learn more about this event as well as to register, go to this link here at the bottom of this flyer, and it'll actually take you to this landing page where you can click there to register. But you can learn more about who Mr. Allen is, kind of gives you information about his bio, 41 plus years in various capacities as it relates to entrepreneurship, business ownership. So a lot of the concepts that he's going to be training us on as realtors has to do with pre-qualifying customers to make sure you're serving people in the right way, right? So that's a great area. Different negotiation techniques that will get you close transactions faster. Also talk about consistency and follow-up and how to create more business and ways to manage your time, right? That's a big void for a lot of us, is how we manage the time that we have, and a lot of it has to do with just us remanaging or reprioritizing ourselves and how we approach things. So this event is going to be on November 5th. If you haven't registered, go ahead and register. Seats are filling up quickly, so you don't want to miss your spot, because we only have a certain amount of room. So you don't want to be on the outside looking in. But go ahead and go to that link that's on the flyer, that link that was here on this flyer right here, bit.ly/BDREF_training, and it's going to take you to this landing page, and you'll be able to register. So I look forward to you all taking part and participating. You're going to be able to get a lot out of that training, I promise you. So go ahead and RSVP if you haven't already RSVP. All right. So with that being said, that's what we have coming down the pipeline. Let's go ahead and jump into, for the remainder of our time, the next area of our psychological success series. Right? And again, we're dealing with the psychological aspects of being in real estate or being a realtor. I say this, and I think I've said it every session. I don't know of brokers that spend as much time and attention on the psychological, the emotional, the mental aspects of this business like we do. And maybe they don't see it as critical as I see it or as we see it. Maybe that just hasn't been the traditional approach to getting someone developed in this business. I don't know. I don't know the reason. But I know for us, to me, it seems paramount that that aspect of it is better managed, especially in today's environment. So at Brooks & Davis, we go above and beyond as it relates to the psychological piece of this business. So for some of my agent members that are with us today on the session, I know that you all are kind of familiar with this concept because we know that our one-on-one coaching is based on this premise, right? So what I wanted to do with this series was just kind of wanted to give a taste of the different exercises that we do as a part of our coaching, and give some insights that people could kind of walk away with and maybe do on their own to just help them press past why they feel the way they feel or why they think the way they think, and how that's probably holding them back from what they want to achieve in this business, right? So, it all starts with our psychological iceberg for success. We started at the bottom and we've just been moving our way up the iceberg, right? So we dealt with the question of when will you start, right? Right now we're in episode 153. So I believe episode 147 of our Create Your New Life begins this series. So I encourage you to go back and look at the other episodes if you have not seen them already. But we began with answering the question of when will you start. Then we kind of went up and spent a couple of sessions on, who are you? Answering that question of you getting clear about who you are as a person and why you make some of the decisions that you make, why you feel the way that you feel. What are those experiences that have defined, your view of the world? What are those things that has shaped your belief system? So we dealt with that. And then we spent a couple of sessions that dealt with, what it is that you want, right? Getting crystal clear on the things that matter to you, or getting, learning how to get crystal clear on the things that matter to you, right? So we talked about last week some different exercises on what you can do to help flesh out, what it is that really matters to you. Because like I said last week, if you're not clear on where you're going, then you don't really know how to prepare for the journey. You don't even know how to determine if you're on track. You don't know how to measure if what you're doing is even moving you closer to where you want to go, if you don't know where you're going, right? I use the illustration of the map, and unless you're looking for a specific location on the map, just looking at it is overwhelming, right? Because you got lines for streets, you got dots, you got your symbols, you got your colors, everything's really, really small because you're trying to fit everything on there, it can be overwhelming. And that's how a lot of us, especially as realtors, are going through life, overwhelmed because we're not clear on the area that we want to land at in this business. So that's what we did last week, and today we're going to talk about, we're going to answer that question of why do you want it, right? So now that you've gotten crystal clear on what it is that you want to achieve, the direction that you want to go, ultimately what you want out of life, right? You've sat down and you maybe gone through the ultimate life vision exercise. You've identified, what you're not satisfied with by going through the life will exercise. We talked about that exercise. And you've identified these categories, these areas of your life that you must become intentional about improving on a weekly, daily basis if you're going to be able to achieve your ultimate life vision. So you've broken it down and compartmentalized it so it can be more digestible as you begin to execute. Another quote from Tony Robbins that I use a lot, really helped me out, and it still helps me out as I'm doing stuff, is that complexity is the enemy to execution. Again, complexity is the enemy to execution. If you sit down and you plan out something and it's super complicated, then when it's time for you to begin executing on what you've created, it's going to be very difficult for you to execute it the right way with a lot of power and passion and with a lot of momentum. It's going to be very difficult to execute it. So that's where we go back to what they say, KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. The simplicity of things is the beauty of things. And that's why it's important that you get clear on what it is that you want to achieve. So today we're going to be answering that question of why. Why do you want it? What's your purpose for going after whatever that specific thing is that you want to go after? Okay, so how do we deal with that and how do we handle that from an exercise standpoint? Well, we call it ultimate purpose, right? There's a couple of ways that we deal with it. One of them is ultimate purpose, and that's where you sit down, similar to ultimate vision, and you just sit down with a pen and a pad, self-reflection, go outside if you like doing work outside, or go to a quiet place and just try to tap into that inner you, that higher version of yourself, and looking at your ultimate life vision, just ask yourself, like, why do you want that? Why do I want this? What is important about me achieving this right here that I see on my ultimate life vision paper? And for you all that weren't here last week, all the ultimate life vision is that if you went into your future, you identified your perfect 10 life in multiple areas: finances, career, relationships, health, travel, recreation, right? Personal growth. You identified your perfect life, your perfect 10 life, and you see yourself as your perfect 10 you, and you're sitting down and you're documenting what you see. As if somebody came up to you and said, hey, you went over there, what did you see? And then you begin to describe it. You begin to explain it. Well, ultimate life vision is just you writing down your vision of what you saw, because that is what you want. That right there is whatever you come up with is really what you want out of life. And that's what you're pursuing, but most of us are not pursuing it in the right way. So, now that you have your ultimate life vision down and you have it on paper, then now you want to determine, you want to tap into that fuel that's going to drive you to going after what it is that you want, right? And that's what purpose is. That's what the why is what drives you. And I'm pretty sure for most of you all, I'm not the first person that's talked about the importance of the why, right? I know Gary Keller in his book, the millionaire real estate agent, calls it the big why. He has a whole chapter about it. It's the first chapter. Putting substance under being clear on the answer to that question. Right? So we just take it and we take it a little step further. We say we need to put some more layers under that why, because now it's not about how big the why is. It's about how full, how wide, how complete, how complex, how many layers does that why involve, right? And so you want to sit down and you want to look at your ultimate life vision, and you want to break down every single sentence, every element of your vision, and ask yourself, why is this particular part important to me? You know, why is this particular part important to me? Think about, you know, how will your life be different once you're living your perfect 10 life? How will your life be different? How will the lives of other people that are connected to you, maybe that's your children, or that's your spouse, or maybe that's your friends, your coworkers, colleagues, the world, how will all of that stuff be different because now you achieved what you've been pursuing? You're now happy. You're living a happy, driven, and fulfilled life. How will the things around you be impacted? Right? You know, think about some of the things that you can't do right now, but once you walk into your perfect 10, you will be able to do. Think of that stuff. Think of how you'll be able to contribute on a higher level, at the capacity and the level that you probably want to, but you're limited by because you haven't achieved your ultimate life vision yet. See, all of those are elements inside of ultimate purpose. All of those help you flesh out. Again, we're trying to pull it out because a lot of us are walking through things, you know, we're single focused, but we're just kind of walking through this thing haphazard. We don't have any intention on what we're doing, right? I binge watched Lovecraft Country over the weekend. And one of the characters, you know, one of the things that she said was, you know, every step to her ascension has been calculated. I think I'm saying that verbatim. That's how profound that statement was to me. She says every step to her ascension has been calculated. That means she was intentional. She knew, she was clear on what she was trying to achieve. And for y'all that have seen Lovecraft Country, I think baby girl name was Christina. She was clear on what she was trying to achieve. And she laid out a plan, calculated, very intentional of how she was going to achieve it. And she was fueled on her why, her purpose. She felt like it was her purpose, her birthright, for her to achieve this level of ascension. She was fueled and she was pushed by a big why. And that's what drove her. So that's why we call the why the fuel. It's the thing that drives you, right? When you begin to run into barriers, because you're going to run into them. When you begin to run into walls, or you begin to run into roadblocks, for you to power through that stuff, you're going to have the right octane in your gas tank. And if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, if you don't know why you're getting up every day to be a realtor, right? I mean, really know why. Right? It can't just be because you saw HGTV and you thought it was cool to show houses. Like, it can't be that, because that's not going to be enough to power you through what you're about to experience. It can't be, oh, well, you know, I just like talking to people. It can't be that, because you're gonna meet some people that are not the pleasantest of people. You're gonna meet some people that are not all that honest, right? And I'm not saying that they're maliciously honest, that they're vicious. I'm just saying sometimes people don't want to be bothered. Or most people, especially customers, they walk in with a wall up because they don't know you, right? Especially when you get to the point to where you're really growing and scaling your business, you're going to meet a lot of people that you may be meeting for the very first time. And you're going to have to become skilled on warming those people up. You're going to have to become skilled on getting those people comfortable to where they start letting their guard down, right? Because you're never going to get to the real person until they let their guard down. And you're not going to be able to help them until they reveal the real person. But most customers, they're not going to reveal them. Even if they become your client, a lot of times, they're still not revealing who the real person is, what the real person really wants. And some of them don't even know how to get to who that person is. So you're going to have to coach them like I'm coaching you guys. You're going to have to use some of these same elements with some of your customers just to peel back the layers and get people to a state to where you really can help them in what they're hiring you to do. So you're going to have to help counsel and coach them through that process. Well, if you're not powered by a strong why, a strong purpose of why you're doing this business, then you're not going to have the energy to exert all of that into your customer. To the people that depend on you, you're not going to have the energy to do what's needed to give them what they need or to help them get to the next phase to what they ultimately want. So that's why ultimate purpose is key, very key, before getting to execution. Because after ultimate purpose, we talk about the when do you want it and the how will you get it. That's execution. But before we deal with execution, we got to know why we're doing it. Because there's a level of intensity that you have to bring if you're going to be able to move the boulder forward. We all start with a big boulder, especially coming into real estate. We all start with this big, steel, heavy boulder that's not moving. And for you to get the boulder to moving, you're going to have to exert energy. In chemistry, they call it activation energy. It's the amount of energy that gets the reaction to start working. Well, you're going to have to exert a lot of upfront energy, activation energy, just to get the boulder to move an inch. But you got to keep pushing it to get it to move 2 inches and 3 inches. Then 3 inches turns to a foot. Then maybe a foot turns into a 3 feet, and 5 feet, 10 feet. Now you're up to a mile. So now the thing's moving, right? And now that you have it moving, its own momentum is going to get it to speeding up, as long as you can make sure that it's still moving. But most realtors, and it's not really on them, I blame the brokers and the kind of environments and brokerage firms that we've been creating. Most realtors never get to the point to where they've applied enough energy to get the boulder. They come and they start applying energy and they start pushing, but when they don't see anything moving, they get discouraged. And then they stop pushing the boulder. So then it doesn't move anymore. They get discouraged. Well, to deal with that discouragement, you got to have a strong belief. You got to be clear on what it is that you're trying to do. You got to have be fueled by an understanding of why you're doing it. And then you have to have a plan, of which we haven't talked about yet. But you got to have your plan in place, your massive action plan of how you're going to get that boulder to move. And stay consistent and trust the process and stay in it long enough and keep pushing, believing that at some point you will have built enough activation energy. You got to build it. You got to keep pushing until you built enough activation energy to get the boulder moving in your career. And then that's when the party really starts. So that's where all this psychological stuff comes into play. It's in the beginning, right? It's real easy to be a part of something that's already a good thing, right? When you latch on to something or somebody and they're already kind of doing their thing and it's a good thing, I promise you, you're not maximizing your potential, right? You're not going to get the real fruits of the labor. The people that are really getting the real fruits of the labor are the ones that participated in getting the boulder to move. Those are the ones that are really getting the most benefit out of the results. So anybody can be a part of something that's already a good thing. If you really want to participate in the good spoils, you got to come in the beginning. You got to put in the work on the front end. And that's where that activation and staying consistent, staying intense with proven elements, right? That's another where I see realtors get tripped up is that they go too much on what they see. And in real estate, it's a faith walk. I promise you it is. It's just like I take you back to the farmer, man. Farming is a faith walk because you don't know what's going on under that ground, under that soil. You just got to believe that you're operating off of the best information. And based on the information that you have access to, you're doing the things that you've been exposed to, and you just got to believe that it's going to work. So that's another reason why it's imperative that you get connected to a person that's going to give you the best information, the right information. There's a lot of wrong information out there as real estate, realtors. It's a lot of wrong information. So don't get caught up on Instagram, Facebook, based on what you're seeing other realtors do, and you get caught in that circle. You don't know if that stuff's working or not. You better verify it. You better understand it is working, because the worst thing you can do as a farmer is you expecting corn and you got the wrong seed and you're planting it, you're using the wrong water, you're planting at the wrong time. Guess what? You're not going to get what it is that you want to get. And that's what's going on. That's what a lot of realtors are experiencing because they don't have the best information. But when you do have the best information, like when we're part of Brooks and Davis real estate firm, proven over 1,000 transactions under my belt, multiple thousands of realtors I've been worked alongside, trained, been a part of a brokerage firm, 16 years in this thing, 14 years being a broker, right? So, and have a heart for this, you're getting the right information. You're getting the stuff that you need to get that's going to get you there, right? But you just got to have faith and you got to believe. And while you have faith and while you believe, you got to be applying that energy and you got to stick with it. Stick with it. Just believe that you're moving the boulder forward, and at some point you're going to begin to see it move, and then that's when it all opens up for you. All right? So boom, that's where we are today. Why do you want it? Ultimate purpose, right? The fuel behind you being able to achieve what it is that you really want. With that being said, man, that's all I have for you guys today. Anybody have any specific coaching that you want me to address? Any questions? Any comments? Please feel free. We got about 2 or 3 minutes before I was going to shut it down. So anybody have anything that you all want me to address? I can do it for you. I see Rhonda. What's up, Rhonda? All right. We got Ellen on here. We got Terry on here today. All right. All right. Well, look, I always, again, appreciate you all taking part in the Create Your New Life. I feel like it's great content that we're looking at between the Create Your New Life and my Monday night lives that I do on Facebook. Those are great outlets to engage with me on a one-on-one basis. I'm always looking for ways to where you guys have that opportunity to engage with me on a one-on-one. access is a humongous thing for me, and I've been very intentional about it. And I'm still putting areas and putting layers in place to where I have that accessibility, and our organizational leaders will have the accessibility. So anybody that's a part of Brooks and Davis will be able to be connected to that level of expertise, that level of insight, and those resources, so they can be successful. So it's all about us all being connected, the collective, working together, and us all being plugged into the motherboard, if you say. All right. As a reminder for our agents who are in the process of getting their continuing education, we do offer an hour of CE credit. So by the time it gets to where you need to renew that license, you won't have to worry about any of your elective credit, because you can get them all here with the Create Your New Life. You get that hour. Also, if you are looking at this, somebody emailed it to you, somebody texted to you, you went on our YouTube channel and you saw the title and the description, you thought it was interesting, and you found and you see, where your broker or your brokerage or your current situation may not be, there are some gaps there, then let's set up an online or in-person company introduction and let's talk through it. Let me show you, learn more about what we have here to offer to our agent members and our affiliate members. Again, or like I said, you may be thinking about getting into real estate, or you may be enrolled in your first class. We do have, through our affiliate membership, an opportunity for individuals who are not licensed yet to begin to start seeing the practical aspects and the components that you're not learning in your real estate class. You're not learning that at real estate school. So you begin to start putting in place more of the practical areas, getting around realtors, people that are already doing what you plan on doing. You can begin picking their brain. Again, get connected, get in the collective. What it's going to do is that when you're now in a position to start pushing that boulder, you'll have more to pull from, more of a reservoir to pull from as you're trying to get that thing moving. All right. So click on the link, schedule online or in-person company introduction. And last but not least, we do a lot of engagement via social media. A lot of it you see on our YouTube channel. We utilize Facebook a lot, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So I encourage you, get connected. If you're not on social media, you need to get on social media. I mean, I know there are some, I used to be the same way, and I'm not saying social media is the only way that you can be successful as a realtor. So I'm not going to say that. I would never say that. There are plenty of people out here that are successful as realtors and they don't have a social media presence. What I'm saying is, why make it harder for yourself, right? There's more people on Facebook than live in India, right? There's 1 billion people live in India, and there's more people on Facebook. Then you're throwing Instagram, you're throwing LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn is the fastest growing social media platform. You have these marketplaces where there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of eyeballs. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? Why make it harder on yourself? Why just focus on your local environment, your local world, when there's so much more exposure out there for you that you can tap into it utilizing the social media platform? It's a great way to stay engaged and stay top of mind with people. So we do a lot on social media. We engage a lot on social media. There's so much content that it's coming out of my pores, out of my ears. I mean, I love doing what I do. I spend a lot of time learning, growing, and this is my way to contribute it. So between our YouTube channel, between our Facebook business page, they're great areas of awareness and insight. So I encourage you, subscribe to our channel, like our Facebook page, and then just some of the other LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, those are my personal pages. Get connected with me there if that's where you prefer to be, because I'm on all of them. All right, so with that being said, that's all I have for you all today on this Tuesday, think it's the last Tuesday in October, so hopefully you all made it worth it. Let me go ahead and turn my music up, and we're going to bob my head up out of here. Next week, we're going to be talking about the when. When do you want it is what we're going to be talking about next week. Now that we've, we're clear on what we want, we understand how it relates to the fuel that's going to push us to achieve what we want. Now we got to get real clear on the plan that we're going to execute to make it happen. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. So don't miss it. Don't miss the next piece. All right, with that being said,
shall we begin?
No, we are done for this Create Your New Life session. Thank you for everybody that came on. We had a great session. We talked about that fuel, that way to approach everything that you do, 157%. We also talked about always giving your best at whatever you decide to do, and then how we can make that better. We looked at our success in real estate machine, which we're going to, as we launch our new mentorship program, that's going to be a pivotal piece. And you guys take advantage of the upcoming events that we have at the Coaching and Training Center. It's open to affiliates and agent members. So affiliates and agent members can attend both. So make sure you RSVP for the Meet the Broker event. Tell people that may be interested. They can come meet and learn. And then for the training, check out the landing page so you can learn more about it, as well as register for that event too. With that being said, I'm your host, Michael G. Davis, broker, CEO of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. It is my pleasure and an honor to be here with you guys on Tuesdays at 12:30. With that being said, looking forward to coaching you into the cosmos. It's time to take off, baby. Let's get it done. All right, y'all.